All right, pound USD starting on the monthly as usual. Just a quick note, this is a pound pair. That means, as we know, for the reasons why, I'm lowering my risk, and I believe you should too for any pound pair entry. All right, let's start looking for our zones. We're looking for horizontal area sensitivity, buy sensitivity turning into sell sensitivity. This is our monthly upper zone, buy sensitivity, monthly lower zone. So now let's understand the story that price is giving us. We see a push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion, now a continuational push off our lower zone. Now what's important to note about this pair is that 1.20 is the lowest that the pound has ever been, at least as far back as 2000, which is what I can see. This means that it's not going to be the usual push and exhaustion cycle where then the push breaks below or above previous exhaustion or previous low or high. Now, if you've taken Forex Gentleman University, you know that one of the biggest players in the Forex market is governments or central banks. They have a strong economic interest not to let their currency devalue too much. And since 1.20 was the lowest that price has been, I highly doubt that price is going to continue for its normal cycle, since the banks and central banks, governments are going to be buying the pound to make sure that their currency does not devalue too much. So what's price action telling us? We see this bullish engulfing candle close on the monthly. That's a significant close, telling me that we're seeing the injection of orders from governments, central banks that we need to make sure that price doesn't break below its previous low, which is 1.20, and will likely retest what is its downtrend and also lower monthly zones. Onto the weekly, what do? That's right, we look for our weekly mid-range zone, and we identified it with strong sell and buy sensitivity. Essentially, price is struggling or is unable to break above or below its weekly mid-range zone, as there's a lot of orders at this area. So as mentioned, on the monthly, this is the lowest price has been, 1.20. The government and a lot of other countries that hold pound debt have to make sure that price does not devalue too much. So here's this bullish engulfing candle close we saw on the monthly. This is telling us that we have a buy injection. Now, this is a significant move. So it made a significant move to its weekly mid-range zone. This is a push. Sell orders entered the market as expected, where exhaustion began. So after this bullish engulfing candle close, I believe that price is not going to be allowed to go any lower, at least for the meantime. So now I'm looking for patterns for entry, and I can see right now we have a potential reverse head and shoulders position. So let's take it down a time frame and look for entry. Now entry one, this is the trade that I'm going to be making. I'm more of a higher time frame kind of guy. I like solid confirmed entries. I personally am going to be staying patient and waiting for price to break its weekly zone to the upside. This is a significant move as it breaks an area of strong sensitivity, so that's a push. Then I wait for exhaustion and price action confirmation to the upside with the bullish engulfing candle close. That doesn't mean we don't have a potential long to our weekly mid-range zone on the lower time frame. We identified a downtrend. We're waiting for that push to the upside, exhaustion. Patrick is going to keep you posted on his channel regarding a potential lower time frame entry to the upside. All right, so that's it for pound USD. Now I want to quickly touch about why it's important that countries have debt. I talk about this in Forex Gentleman University, but I think it's information you all should know. Even if in a hypothetical world, a country has the ability to have no debt, they would still choose to have debt. And here's what I mean. When countries have debt, it means that another country is carrying that debt, meaning they have vested interest in that country's currency. For example, let's say I'm the USA and I buy $500 billion worth of pound debt. I have a strong interest that their currency doesn't dive too low because I'm holding that debt. I want that money back. So now you can see why it's actually a strategic move that countries give debt to certain other countries, because they actually have then vested interest in how their country's currency is doing. The economic politics of countries is a very interesting strategic game once you understand how the pieces move. Have a great day, team.